very often about the importance of staying healthy for corporate India and why health is so low on the priority list of entrepreneurs. Doing something about how we view health and staying healthy is Stepathlon, a community-based wellness platform that encourages mass employee participation. I did this interview earlier. Take a look. Thank you very much for speaking with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow, Ravi. Let me start by asking you to talk to our viewers about your company, about your business model, where the idea for that came about.
Well, Stepathlon is based on a very successful model from Australia, which we thought back in 2012 was applicable for India and many other markets. So we took that concept and migrated it to India. And it's based on combating sedentary lifestyle in the workforce, so fundamentally, through gamification of both daily and focused activity.
So you think that Indians are open when it comes to the concept of exercising, they understand why you really need to exercise? Do you think there's that awareness and understanding?
I think there's a real awareness of the increase in lifestyle disease, especially post-liberalization. And it's called lifestyle disease because of the way we live our lives. And I think what India needs, like many developing markets, is to understand what it takes to combat lifestyle disease. It doesn't actually take that much. You don't have to go to gym every day. You don't have to have fancy equipment. You don't have to have a lot of time. And through Stepathlon, we want to show people that even with limited time, space, and money, you can still be healthier, happier, and more productive.
Okay, so just break down the business model for us. How exactly does it work?
Well, the business model is very simple. It's like any other mass participation event, like a marathon or a triathlon or a cyclothlon. You pay to participate per person. Our clients are the companies and the participants are their employees. And generally companies pay for their employees or they do a co-pay. The format is, it's a virtual race, or as we say, a race around the virtual world. Employees participate in teams of five from single or multiple locations. And they go about their daily activity, both focused and incidental. Their activity goes into a website and their team moves along a virtual race course. And that allows companies to put employees in wherever they are. So we're not geographically bound. We're also agnostic to everything: age, gender, location, designation, physical ability. So it's a very inclusive platform. And we feel very much that in the same way that disease doesn't discriminate, the solution shouldn't discriminate. So
you're talking about your business model, and I want to understand from you if you ever looked at the wearables industry, whether you ever looked at the hardware that's associated with the fitness industry. And the reason I'm asking you this is a lot of entrepreneurs who have come on Leaders of Tomorrow have all been in the wearables hardware side of the fitness industry. Is that where the money is going? Is that where the industry is going? Is that something you perhaps looked at and decided it was not working for a particular reason?
Well, I think the money is going into the wearable industry, no doubt, and it's a proliferation of devices both in India and across the globe. But we're very clear, after being in the business for 5 years now, that we're in the human behavior business. The wearable doesn't make you fit, the shoes don't make you fit, the gym membership doesn't make you fit. It's using it. So we're less concerned about which wearable you use or which app you use, but more that you use it. And we focus on activation and engagement. At the end of the day, our philosophy is engage first and then make healthy. And that's how you impact human behavior in a sustainable way.
Okay, so maybe you can give me a concrete example of how you're helping companies and employees actually make that switch. You said that it's not necessary that just because you have the device, you're actually using it. How do you help companies and employees make that switch? And I'm trying to understand your USP and therefore, what our viewers can possibly take away from that.
So I sum this up with one line, that we bring a sports marketing approach to wellness. My background is in sports, my team's background is in sports, and in the same way that sponsorship must be activated, wellness must be activated. Buying a gym membership isn't the solution, it's using it. 80% of gym membership owners don't actually go to the gym. How do you catalyze that behavior to go actually go and use it? So we focus on engagement and activation, whether it be online activation and offline activation. We do a judicious mix of both, and we work at an event level and also at a company level, because whilst there are general rules about what is good for you, at the end of the day, different groups of people also need different things to make them healthier. For example, if you're over 30, companies look at certain things. If you're under 20, companies look at certain things. So we try and create activation and engagement that is focused, that is both general and specific.
Why is it important that companies focus on their employees' health?
Look, I think at the end of the day, especially in markets like India, employees work hard and they work long hours, and work bleeds into your personal time. So I think and employees spend so much time either at work or dealing with work that I think if the company helps the employee within the constraints of time, space and money be healthier and fitter, then I think the employee is more productive for the organisation and for themselves. You see a lot of companies now calling it compensation and benefits, which shows that employees are looking beyond compensation for other things from their employer to make them more productive. And our pitch to company is you want to improve your bottom line, improve the health of your company. Indian companies lose almost 10% of payroll to stress-related absenteeism. If you can reduce absenteeism, you can increase bottom lines. If you can reduce presenteeism, which is people being at work but not being productive, you can increase bottom line. So I think there's a dual benefit to having healthier employees. And as I said, in India we're working very hard. If you don't answer your email on the weekends, your boss calls you and says, why haven't you answered your email? So I think if companies can help employees, then employees will be much more productive for the company.
How many companies do you work with right now? And I want to understand how a model like yours can be broad-based, because we talk to a lot of MSMEs, and most of India's 36 million MSMEs are based in Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, etc. Can your model be broad-based there?
Absolutely. We've worked with over 600 companies already, big, small, Indian, multinational, promoter-driven, institutional. We're agnostic to industry, to size. If you've got 5 people, you can participate in Stepathlon. So we're certainly very much applicable to Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, and looking to permeate throughout the country. And as we've developed our model to a mix of BYOD and device, now we're more relevant to a wider group of organisations. So we'd hope to slowly scale beyond the metros and the mini metros to many more cities where we'd originate participation. We already have participation in over 900 locations, but a lot of those are employees of bigger organisations. We'd like to have organisations based in Tier 2 and Tier 3 signing up for their companies.
One thing that I want to talk about is the role of the government in this industry. Even as the government is talking about Skill India, Digital India for corporate India, it's talking about Swachh Bharat. Do you think buying is necessary on the level of the government? Are you perhaps talking with the government about how important health is when it comes to corporate India?
We certainly would love to work with the government. I think it's absolutely essential. Like I said, you look at all the data, and India is a country that's sick, especially urban India, and it's not that difficult to mitigate lifestyle disease if there's a focus on it. And governments all over the world have moved towards prevention. Now, India is a country that's focused on illness, not on wellness, and we have to move the needle. And we'd love to work with government organisations to do that. The UK has a digital health organisation that focuses on that area for both kids and adults. So it'd be great for the government to take a step in that direction. We're certainly not working with the government at this point in time, but we'd very much love to do that, because I think that could really make what we're doing happen much faster.
So my last question to you, what's on the plate for you going forward, either the next couple of months or say the next year?
Look, for us, we're really excited. The last 12 to 18 months has been a big journey of diversification for us. We started off as just one annual race. Now we have customised for corporates, what I'm calling customised community, where we're using the platform to expand and engage organisations that are seeking to engage non-employee communities. We've got kids, and we're working on an offline mass participation event that I haven't seen that format before, so we're hopefully going to do that in the next year. So, creating multiple revenue streams but using the same platform and principles is really what we're going for, and we've definitely put the markers down for that in the last 12 months.
Okay, wish you all the very best for that, Ravi. Thanks for speaking with us. Time for a break then. On the other side, we'll bring you a leader focus with the wedding clothing industry. Just stay tuned.